Was there a group of filmmakers that you modeled this way of screening the film after, or was there a book where you felt, okay, if we don't get a distribution deal, we're going to do it ourselves and we're going to do it this way?
Not really. There was in some ways. I mean, I was really inspired by What the Bleep, because they didn't get into they didn't go the normal route. They didn't get into film festivals. They didn't get into, or lots of them, they got into some, and they didn't have a big production company behind them. They didn't have a big distributor. Now, they did have a much, much bigger budget than we did, but they still had a very self-distribution model. But there wasn't a ton of information about it. But as, I guess it was when we were at the Hollywood Film Festival, where we won Best Documentary, our DVD distributor introduced me to Betsy Chassi, one of the creators of What the Bleep. And she's just been lovely. She's been like a mentor to me and really encouraging. But I can't say there was an exact model. I mean, I did read a lot of books and I got little pieces from lots of different things. And I also, a lot of the making of this film and the distribution of this film has really happened on an intuitive level. I just kind of get this sense, or I'm like, this would be a good thing to do, and I've learned to trust that. And that's been a big part of my Camino, and what I've learned is really to trust my intuition. And so the big part of it was I should get an RV. And and to me, so many filmmakers are like, oh, I just want to make the film. But to me, it's kind of like birthing a baby and then giving it up for adoption. I mean, it's a choice to do, but to really make sure that the film gets out in the world in the way you want it to. Like, for example, I mean, for me, theatrical was important because I really feel like people can have the whole experience. And I also can't imagine that many distributors would have done with it the way I did it. And it was a very personal touch, obviously.
And also, too, your going there in 2008 was very similar to all the reasons the other people went, and I think reasons why others would go as well. So I think that's important for you to share your own story with it.
Yeah, and I think that is a really key thing that makes the film a little bit different. There's been some movies that are going to be coming out shortly or have come out in the past of filmmakers doing films about their Camino as they walk it. One of the issues about that, though, I feel like I had the great benefit of walking, having a complete pilgrim experience, then going back. Because if you're walking and shooting, you can't really have the normal pilgrim experience because you're working. And so much about the pilgrim experience is, you know, not being distracted and not having a million things to do, that really your to-do list is walk, eat, sleep, and, you know, if you want, wash your clothes. I mean, so I think it's a much harder experience to try and walk and capture it and at the same time, rather than doing one first then the other.